We are bombarded daily with messages about self-love. It's on magazine covers, plastered across social media, and whispered like a magic spell in wellness circles. But here's the honest truth. How many of us truly feel it deep in our bones? How many of us wake up without that nagging inner critic, that relentless voice telling us we're not enough? We chase self-love, but it often feels like chasing a mirage in the desert, always out of reach. What if I told you that the path to genuine self-love isn't paved with bubble baths and positive affirmations? Don't get me wrong, those things are lovely, but they're surface level. The real journey, the one that transforms us from the inside out, requires something much deeper, much more courageous. It demands that we confront the messy, uncomfortable parts of ourselves with open hearts and unwavering kindness. For years, I researched shame and vulnerability, believing that if we could just outrun our imperfections, we'd finally find self-acceptance. But I was wrong. True self-love isn't about perfection. It's about embracing our whole being, the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. And that, my friends, is where the real magic happens. By the end of this video, you'll understand the 3 fundamental practices that have the power to unlock a depth of self-love you never thought possible. Let's be honest, most of us are incredibly compassionate. We show up for our friends and loved ones with open arms and empathetic hearts. We offer words of comfort, a shoulder to cry on, and a listening ear without judgment. But when it comes to ourselves, silence. We unleash the inner critic, the one with a razor-sharp tongue, the one who seems to relish in our missteps and shortcomings. Think about the last time you made a mistake, big or small. Did you greet yourself with the same gentleness and understanding you'd offer a dear friend? Or did you spiral into self-recrimination, replaying the moment over and over, each time amplifying your perceived failures? We've been conditioned to believe that being hard on ourselves is the key to self-improvement, that self-criticism is a motivator. But here's the thing, it's not. It's a recipe for shame, and shame is the breeding ground for self-loathing. So how do we break free from this cycle of self-sabotage? It begins with a radical act of self-compassion. Imagine for a moment that your best friend, the one who knows you inside and out, comes to you heartbroken over a mistake they made. What do? You listen. You validate their feelings. You remind them of their inherent worthiness regardless of their missteps. Now I want you to take that same energy, that same unwavering compassion, and turn it inwards. I know, easier said than done, right? This is where the work comes in. Self-compassion requires us to develop a new internal dialogue, one that is kind, understanding, and forgiving. It means catching ourselves when the inner critic pipes up and choosing a different response. Instead of, I can't believe I did that, I'm such a failure. Try, I'm human, I make mistakes, and that's okay. What can I learn from this experience? It's about treating ourselves with the same care and consideration we'd extend to someone we love deeply. It's about acknowledging our pain, our struggles, and our imperfections without judgment. It's about whispering words of comfort to our weary hearts and reminding ourselves that we are worthy of love and belonging, even when we mess up. This practice of radical self-compassion is not a one-time fix. It's a lifelong journey of showing up for ourselves with kindness and understanding, especially when we feel like we least deserve it. It's about recognizing that we are all perfectly imperfect beings, doing the best we can with what we've got. And here's the beautiful paradox. The more we embrace our imperfections, the more we accept ourselves as we are, flaws and all, the more we create space for growth and healing. It's in those moments of vulnerability, when we allow ourselves to be seen, truly seen, that we begin to experience the transformative power of self-love. Remember, self-compassion is not about letting ourselves off the hook or ignoring our areas for improvement. It's about approaching ourselves with the same gentle guidance we'd offer a loved one who is struggling. It's about recognizing that we are all works in progress, and that's perfectly okay. So the next time you find yourself in a moment of self-doubt or self-criticism, pause, take a deep breath, and remember to treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer to a friend. Because in the end, self-compassion is the foundation upon which true self-improvement is built. Let's talk about vulnerability. Just hearing the word might make you want to retreat, to build walls around your heart. We've been conditioned to believe that vulnerability is weakness, that showing our true selves is risky, even dangerous. But what if I told you that vulnerability is actually the birthplace of connection, the key to unlocking genuine self-love? Think about it. When do you feel most connected to another human being? Is it when they're putting on a show, pretending to be someone they're not? Or is it when they let their guard down, when they share their authentic selves, warts and all? Vulnerability is the bridge that connects our hearts. It's the language of authenticity that allows us to see and be seen, to love and be loved. But vulnerability is terrifying, isn't it? It requires us to step outside of our comfort zones, to shed the armor we've so carefully constructed over the years. It means risking judgment, rejection, and heartbreak. And yet, it's in those moments of raw exposure that we discover the depth of our own strength and resilience. I'll never forget the moment I realized that vulnerability wasn't weakness, but rather the greatest measure of courage. I was standing on a stage sharing a story that I had kept hidden for years, a story that filled me with shame. As the words tumbled out of my mouth, I felt exposed, terrified, and strangely liberated. And then, something remarkable happened. People started to lean in. Their eyes welled up with tears, not of pity, but of recognition. They saw themselves in my story, in my vulnerability. That's the power of vulnerability. It creates a ripple effect, dismantling the walls we build around our hearts and inviting others to do the same. When we have the courage to be vulnerable, to show up authentically, imperfections and all, we give others permission to do the same. We create a space of belonging, a space where we can finally exhale and embrace the fullness of who we are. Now, I'm not suggesting we go around spilling our deepest secrets to everyone we meet. Vulnerability is not about oversharing. It's about discerning when and with whom to share our authentic selves. It's about building trust and connection with people who have earned the right to witness our vulnerability. Embracing vulnerability is a daily practice. It's about choosing courage over comfort, connection over perfection. It's about showing up authentically in our relationships, in our work, and most importantly, in our relationship with ourselves. When we embrace our vulnerability, we embrace our humanity, and it's in that space of radical self-acceptance that we discover the true meaning of self-love. Remember, vulnerability is not the absence of fear. It's feeling the fear and doing it anyway. It's about choosing to show up as our authentic selves, even when it's uncomfortable or scary. Because on the other side of vulnerability lies connection, belonging, and the deep, abiding love we have for ourselves. So let's embrace our imperfections and wear them as badges of honor. Let's celebrate the courage it takes to be vulnerable, to be real, and to be beautifully, authentically human. Chapter 3. Let's talk about boundaries. For many of us, the word itself can feel prickly, even confrontational. It can stir up feelings of guilt, anxiety, and fear of rejection. We might associate boundaries with selfishness, with shutting people out, with creating distance in our relationships. This misconception can make it difficult to set and maintain boundaries. But here's the truth. Boundaries are essential for healthy relationships, both with ourselves and with others. They are not walls to keep people out, but guidelines to ensure mutual respect and understanding. They are the invisible lines we draw to protect our time, energy, and emotional well-being. Without them, we risk losing ourselves in the demands and expectations of others. Think of boundaries as fences around your property. They define your space and give you control over who enters and how they interact with you. They don't exist to keep people out entirely. They exist to define where your property ends and another's begins. This clarity helps in maintaining healthy and respectful relationships. They allow you to choose who you let in, when you let them in, and how far you let them in. This selective openness is crucial for maintaining your peace and well-being. Boundaries are about respecting ourselves and our limits, and they're about communicating those limits to others. They are a form of self-respect and self-care. Setting boundaries can be especially challenging when we're people pleasers, always striving to make others happy at the expense of our own needs. When we've been conditioned to put the needs of others before our own. This conditioning can make it hard to recognize and honor our own needs. We might worry that saying no will make us seem selfish, uncaring, or unworthy of love. These fears can paralyze us and prevent us from setting necessary boundaries. But here's the thing. Saying no to something that drains us, that depletes our energy, that compromises our values, is actually an act of self-love. It's a way to honor our own needs and priorities. When we consistently prioritize the needs of others above our own, we lose touch with our own desires and well-being. We end up feeling resentful, overwhelmed, and burnt out. This burnout can affect every aspect of our lives, from our health to our relationships. We deplete our emotional reserves, leaving us with nothing left to give. This depletion can lead to a sense of emptiness and dissatisfaction. Setting boundaries allows us to protect our energy, our time, and our emotional well-being, ensuring that we have the resources to care for ourselves and others, so that we can show up fully for ourselves and for the people we love. This presence is a gift to both ourselves and our loved ones. So how do we start setting boundaries? It begins with self-awareness and understanding what we truly need. It begins with identifying our non-negotiables, the things that we absolutely will not compromise on. These are the foundation of our boundaries. These are our core values, the things that are essential for our well-being. They guide our decisions and actions. Once we're clear on our non-negotiables, we can start communicating them to others clearly and compassionately. This communication is key to maintaining healthy boundaries. Remember, setting boundaries is not about controlling others. It's about taking responsibility for our own well-being. It's about creating a life that honors our needs and values. It's about taking responsibility for our own well-being. It's about creating a life that honors our needs and values. It's about communicating our needs and limits in a way that is both assertive and respectful. This balance is crucial for maintaining healthy relationships. It's about learning to say no without guilt or apology, and to say yes with enthusiasm and a full heart. This practice can transform our relationships and our lives. Setting boundaries is a practice, and it takes time and courage to master. It's a journey of self-discovery and growth. There will be times when we stumble, when we give in to people-pleasing tendencies, and that's okay. It's part of the learning process. When we feel guilty for prioritizing our needs, these moments are opportunities to reaffirm our commitment to our well-being. But with each boundary we set, with each no we utter, we strengthen our sense of self-worth and create more space for the things that truly matter. We strengthen our sense of self-worth and create more space for the things that truly matter. This empowerment is a gift to ourselves and those around us. Remember, you are worthy of love and respect, and you deserve to have your needs met. This self-worth is the foundation of healthy boundaries, and you deserve to have your needs met. Setting boundaries is not selfish. It's an act of self-care, self-preservation, and ultimately, self-love. Setting boundaries is not selfish. It's an act of self-care, self-preservation, and ultimately, self-love. It's about creating a life that honors who we are. When we set boundaries, we create space for authentic connection, for deeper intimacy, and for a more fulfilling life. This fulfillment is the ultimate reward of setting boundaries, for deeper intimacy, and for a more fulfilling life. Boundaries are the key to living a life that is true to ourselves and our values. The journey to self-love isn't linear. It's messy and imperfect, full of twists and turns, setbacks and breakthroughs. It's a lifelong exploration of the most complex, fascinating being you'll ever encounter, yourself. And it's okay if you're not where you want to be yet. The most important thing is that you're on the journey. Remember, self-love isn't a destination, it's a practice. It's the daily choice to show up for yourself with kindness, compassion, and unwavering acceptance. It's about embracing your whole being, the light and the shadow, the messy and the beautiful. It's about recognizing that you are worthy of love, belonging, and joy, just as you are. So go forth, my friend, and embrace the unfolding of you. Be brave, be vulnerable, be kind to yourself, and never ever underestimate the power of your own story.